Hi, welcome back. Mitch Argon with Calneva Realty. I'm going to take you through the Reno Tahoe real estate market update for September 2022. Okay, let's get started. Like in prior months, we'll start with the median price. As you can see, this column through here, the median price is moderating as expected. It's down into single digits for the most part, with the exception of Dayton for this one month. That's comparing August of 2022 over August of 2021. You'll notice over here now that the average of the last 6 months is higher than that because the market is decelerating. And we do expect these numbers will stay in the single digit range down here below 10% on a year-over-year basis. Most people are more curious now about what's happening on a month-by-month basis versus a year-over-year. So I want to include this chart again. This shows each of the local markets with the exception of Tahoe, and it shows the median price going back 2 years on a month-by-month basis. So you can see what this looks like visually here. So for example, the golden line here is Carson Valley. We had an unusual spike last month, which as I said last month is not something that was a trend. We're right back about in line with where we were before. So you see, for the most part, stability here from April through where we are right now. Reno held fairly close at 600,000 median price. It was 595 the month prior. Those two numbers at around, let's call it 600,000, maybe 597, are down from about 630 during the second quarter. So that market is down about 5% from Q2 to Q3. The other markets are reasonably stable. You see a little bit up, a little bit down. Generally speaking, while sales volume is down quite a bit, which we'll talk about in a moment, pricing is still stubbornly high. And we're seeing that with sellers pretty much holding on to prices during negotiations in the current market. In terms of homes sold, the center column here, we are looking at August of 2022 over August 2021. And there's a lot of movement in here, but in general, we're probably seeing the volume of homes sold down to about 25 to 30% from the prior year. So if we had 100 homes sold in 2021, we're seeing about 75 to 80 or 70 to 75 being sold in August of 2022. I'll talk about month supply of inventory here in just a moment. What I want to first do is talk a little bit about inventory. We talked about homes sold being down 25%. Of course, we know inventory is up. So this is like the prior chart shows month by month for each of the markets locally. And you can see that we typically see a seasonal increase in inventory during the summer months. And it's more exacerbated or exaggerated this year, where we're up on inventory about 2 times what we were seeing. Here you see for the Reno market, for example, 887, close to 900 and 410. So a little over 2x in each of the markets is what we're seeing in terms of inventory. So we've seen inventory build. First off, we saw interest rates rise. We saw affordability become a challenge. We've seen sales volume go down. We've seen pricing moderate, and we've seen inventory build. All of these things come together in what's referred to as month supply of inventory. And you can see here where we are currently in September of 2022 compared to 21. We're up quite a bit. However, we're still technically below the 4-month threshold. So technically, we're still in a seller's market by measurement, even though the markets have changed rapidly and given more leverage to buyers in the negotiations that are taking place today in our market. That month supply of inventory, again, looking at this on a month-by-month basis, you can see it's up compared to where we were a year ago, and it was down at levels that were just ridiculously low back here in 2021, where the markets were almost stopping. They almost ceased to function, that the inventory was so low. But I think the key thing is that we're seeing some stability in here. The green line here is Fernley, which shows a fairly pronounced increase here from August to September, but the other markets are fairly stable. And if you look at the chart, you can see that down here. So we're seeing the markets, even though there's been a tremendous change in the markets, we're seeing a little bit of a movement towards some stability in some of these technical measurements like month supply of inventory. Month supply of inventory will probably gradually increase as the markets balance out. We're expecting more rate increases from the Fed. And when those rate increases come, it will put more pressure on pricing, more pressure on affordability. And we'll probably see the markets continue to move towards balancing, although it's not a radical move that we're seeing right here. It's fairly stable. If you look at this last 2 or 3 months where we've seen some major changes, it's stabilized off a bit. That's what I have for you this month. I hope this gives you some insight into what we're seeing in the current market. We are seeing buyers testing sellers. We're seeing a lot of sellers who don't have the flexibility to lower their prices and holding their guns. And so the market is definitely in transition. If you have any real estate needs, you need any help, please feel free to reach out, and myself or one of the agents, our 30-some agents in our Reno or our Minden office will be happy to help. Until next month, have a great rest of your day. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next month. So long.